Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV,
where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts,
your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambulis,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Wow. What is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Morning and welcome to Morning Updates. My name is Vicky Kipto. Thank you for joining Faraja TV. And today we're going to tell you why Raila Odinga is called the King of Coalition.
That is the story that is making news all over today. Yeah, I am your host, Tema Bonareri. Remember, you can interact with us on our social media handles. On Facebook, you can catch us Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube Faraja TV Media, TikTok Faraja.tv.media, Instagram Faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS line is 0703339959.
Interact with us. Also, don't forget to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. The question that we are asking today: do you think the president made the right decision? Do you think the president made the right decision? We want to hear from you. Also, don't forget to tell us where you're watching us from. Our social media handles are you can interact with us through Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and our SMS number is on your screen.
Yes.
And on the story that is making headlines across the nation this morning is about the naming of the 11 cabinet secretary, the second batch that the president named yesterday. And I'll just read, according to the Daily Nation, the story that is making headlines on the front page. 4 of Odinga's allies are in President Ruto's second batch of cabinet nominees. Enter Raila, the coalition king. From Moi's Corporation, Kibaki coalition government, Uhuru's handshake, to now Ruto's broad-based government. The veteran opposition leader has been a man not far away from the center of power, whether through the back door or otherwise, entering into some loose arrangements with the government of the day. You can find that story of on pages 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 of the Daily Nation.
Yeah. So on the Standard newspaper, the same story is making news. Ruto hangs on to Raila for survival. Yeah, politicians day, field day. Odinga ODMs, parties, two deputy parties, its chairman and minority leader get plum post as President Ruto unveils the second batch of cabinet nominees, with 5 old faces making a comeback and critical hitting out at the head of state for ignoring Gen Z's demands for professionals. You can find that story on page 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yes, and also I think on page 4 of the Standard newspaper, we can see why Raila proves yet again he is the ultimate broker of political power.
Yeah, and it started way back from Moi's, that was called cooperation, and then Kibaki's the coalition government, to Uhuru's handshake, and now to Ruto government, what is called a broad-based government.
Yeah.
And also, in the front page of the Daily Nation, we have pictures of the cabinet secretaries who were nominated yesterday. Weekly for Paranya, who is to head cooperatives, energy and petroleum, Opio Wandai. We have mining and blue economy, Hassan Joho. Treasury, National Treasury, we have John Bandi. Youth Affairs and Sports, we have Kipchumba Murkomen. Tourism, Rebecca Miano. Trade and Investment, Salim Vuria. Labor, Dr. Alfred Mutua. We have Public Service, Justin Muturi. Gender, Stella Soy Langat.
Yes, and on the Standard newspaper, we can see the same faces. They've divided the winners and the losers. So we can see there are winners here who are Hassan Joho, mining and blue economy, Weekly for Paranya, cooperative and MSMEs. We can also see Opio Wandai, energy and petroleum, John Mbadi, National Treasury, Kipchumba Murkomen, youth affairs and sports, Aden Duale, environmental, Pantuya, defense, Davis Chirchir, roads and transport, Salim Vuya, trade and industry, Stella Langat Soy, gender, arts and culture. We can also see Kindiki Kithure, interior and national admin, Alice Wahome, lands, public works. We can also see that there's Rebecca Miano. Was she on the list?
Yeah, and now representing tourism
and wild. In the wildlife. We can also see Justin Muturi, the public service. Deborah Barasa, we can see she's for health. Now we have 20 number of cabinet secretaries nominees who have been picked by the president thus far, and there are losers like Ababu Namwamba, who was the former CS for sports, Moses Kuria, who was the former CS for public service, Aisha Jumwa, the former CS for gender, Professor Njuguna Ndongo, who was the former treasury CS, Zakaria Njeru, we can also see he was the former CS for water, Simon Chelugui, ex-cooperatives and MSMEs. And also there's Ezekiel Machogo, who was the former education CS, Mythica Linthuri, former agriculture CS, Florence Bore, former labor CS. Also there's Eliud Awalo, former information CS, and Susan Nakumincha, who has now been replaced by Deborah Baraza.
Yeah, these are the names of the former cabinet secretary who did not made to the list that the president named, and it's also the story that is making headlines on the front page of the Daily Nation. Knocked out, 11 felled by Ruto's cabinet. 11 sacked ministers, it will appear, are the major political casualties in President Ruto's cabinet shakeup. Triggered by youth-led protest after he failed to nominate them back yesterday. You can find that story on page 6 of the Daily nation.
Yes, and this sounds like the list. You know, we usually say there'll be a list during the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, will your name be on the list in the book of life? So this sounds like it. Yeah, some CSS, we can see that they've made a comeback.
Yeah.
5 CSS officially, and we can see that
in
Will comment.
list.
Yeah, he is one of the people who was saved by the president.
Yeah.
And he was reappointed.
Yeah, so we are waiting to see if they are going to go through the vetting
and
process.
survive
Remember,
the vetting.
the vetting process has begun. It began on Wednesday, and we're just going to wait and see if they are going to survive the parliament. And I think the person that is very happy this morning is Raila Odinga. We've talked that he's the king of coalition from Moi's government, where the handshake that is well known was called Cooperation Kibaki coalition government when he lost the 2007 presidential race, and he was appointed the prime minister.
Yes.
And also 2017 when again he lost to former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And there was handshake, the famous handshake that we are talking about right now. And in Ruto's government, what is called the broad-based government. I don't know how they come out with these names.
Yeah.
And that is why Raila is the survivor. And remember when President Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua won the election, they came out clearly and they said that, you know, in our government, hatuna nusu mkate. We don't have a handshake. It's better you just remain in the opposition. That is where you belong. But that has changed.
So we can see that he has proven to be wrong during that time when he said that he will not concede to any handshake. Yes, and now I think it's proved that you cannot reject the fact that Raila has contributed to all governments in Kenya. Yes.
That is why most of the time when there is crisis and arrest, like the one that we are facing right now, the top leaders of this country will go and sought the former prime minister for advice. And this is because of the large crowd that he commands. Remember, during the 2022 presidential race, he lost by, I think, small margin. And that is why most leaders feel like it's better if they consult the former prime minister so that we can have peace in the country. And I just want to read according to the Daily Nation this morning. Mr. Odinga will also find himself working again with the government of the day in a coalition government that is after the hotly contested seat in 2007. After suffering a painful defeat at the hands of President Ruto in the August 2022 presidential election during his fifth stab at the presidency, losing by a 200,000 margin despite being backed by the incumbent, many had predicted the political end of a man who has been hailed as the enigma of Kenyan politics. Also, less than 2 weeks later, President Ruto announced the incorporation of 4 top leaders from Mr. Odinga's ODM party to be part of his new look cabinet pending approval by Parliament. And I'll just name the 4 cabinet secretaries who have been nominated by the president, who are the close ally to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. The 4 are John Badi, former Mombasa governor, and also ODM deputy party leader. We have ODM director of political affairs, Opiyo Wandayi, and also the current minority leader, and former Kakamega governor and ODM deputy party leader, Wycliffe Oparanya. And Mr. Badi has been proposed as the next National Treasury and Economic Planning Minister. Mr. Wandayi, Energy, Mr. Joho, Mining and Blue Economy, and Mr. Oparanya, Cooperatives and MSMEs.
Yes, and also on the Standard newspaper, you can see that story on page 4. Yeah, we can see that Raila proves yet again why he is ultimate broker of political power. This is the fourth government he has managed to join despite losing the Moi Kibaki. And then came the 2018 handshake after the disbanded 2017 general election.
Now the famous
handshake. Yes, between the former president Uhuru Kenyatta and still Raila Odinga. And now we can see that there's now also forming of a coalition or something
that between, is called a broad-based government. Yes. And remember President William Ruto proposed a broad-based government I think 2 weeks ago when he fired the entire cabinet. And he said that henceforth we are going to embrace the broad-based government, and because of this there have been cracks in Azimio la Umoja. We've seen Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, NARC leader Eugene Wamalwa of DAP, and Jeremiah Kioni, the Secretary General of Jubilee, coming out and saying that they don't want to be associated with Kenya Kwanza government because they have failed. And even Mother Karua spoke and said that they're not boarding. This is a trap. Yeah.
Yes, and can we also say that the Azimio la Umoja coalition leader Raila Odinga was also looking out for members of his own party, for the welfare of members of his own party, because we can see that evidently they have gained by getting four slots in the current government. Other than distinguished appointment, the ODM leader started attending important state functions, including State House banquets. Prior to the handshake government with Uhuru, Raila in 2008 formed a government of national unity with the third president, the late Moi Kibaki, after the 2007-2008 post-election violence that was also the major deal breaker between him and Ruto, who was his confidant and political ally. In 2007, Ruto, who was Eldoret North MP, campaigned for Raila's presidential bid, which ended in a disputed poll, but later saw the ODM leader bag the prime minister's position. This was Raila's second handshake with the government after he successfully penetrated Moi's administration in 1997 in a deal that ultimately saw the president reshuffle his cabinet to accommodate the opposition leader and his National Development Party NDP into the ruling KANU regime. And I think this is a repetition of history because we saw that the late second president of Kenya, Moi, he also reshuffled his own cabinet so as he can make room for Raila Odinga and his own party. Yes, in government. And I think this is the same repetition. This is the same thing that is repeating itself, although we can see that this was caused by the people. This is a unity that was formed by the people.
And before President Ruto named Raila Odinga's allies, Raila Odinga had made demands, and one of the demand was for President Ruto to release the protesters that had been arrested. Also, Ruto to sack region police commander Anderson Bungei. Also, for the protest victims to be compensated, and also dropping of protest-related cases and prosecution of protest killer cops. And yesterday the president spoke and he said, and he commanded those protesters who had been arrested to be released. And I just want to quote what the president spoke or said regarding the all issues. And I quote, "I commend the leadership of diverse organization, both in the public and private sectors, including political parties, for their encouraging response to my outreach to consult on forming a broad-based government." It continues saying their willingness to set aside partisan positions and interests in order to join a visionary partnership for the radical transformation of Kenya is a historic gesture of their patriotism. So the way we've just said earlier, President Ruto is not the first president that has collaborated with Raila Odinga. Other presidents who came ahead of him did the same.
Yes, and we can also see that on the same story, Raila and top ODM officials accused of betraying the youth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the announcement was as expected as the reactions, since he hinted the formation of a coalition government.
Yeah.
And we also saw that some people had also predicted the list that was given out by
5-3, but it came out that they had been given 4 slots. But remember, 2 slots are remaining, one for CS and one for Attorney General. That is according to the Constitution of Kenya, where we are not supposed to have less than 14 cabinet secretaries and more than 22. So we are still waiting for the president to name one CS and Attorney General.
Yes, and we can see, okay, let me just quote, Raila, you are no longer Raila Odinga Baba. The Gen Z millennial movement is now the official opposition. Now you are in your 4th, Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru and Ruto, handshake, shake. Yeah, that is what they said. Yeah, the Gen Z's handshake, shake. Always hid in plain sight. May the blood and tears of the youth haunt you all your life. Yeah, this is what even the former Makueni government Kivutha Kibwana posted on X.
Yeah.
Yes. And we can also see that the faces that made a comeback to the cabinet, Murkomen being one of them. He apologized, saying, their last 2 weeks have been moments of deep reflection. I would like to unreservedly apologize to every Kenyan who I may have offended through my words, my deeds, and my conduct, including my lifestyle, in the last 2 years of my public service. Yes, that is what he posted.
And he has been given a different
ministry.
And now I think he'll be chairing youth
affairs and sports.
Youth and sports. I don't know how he's going to work with the youth. Remember, the youth are very angry because of his lifestyle.
Yes, so we are also waiting to see on the last 2 appointments that the president is expected to make. And now we can see that youth now call for more protests amid anger over cabinet nominees. You can find that story on page 6 of the Standard newspaper. Yeah, the president announced changes to appease the youth, people who have been protesting. Yeah, we can see that, okay, let me just quote what one youth had to say. The president's move to bring back the same individuals is either a sign of poor advice or deliberate disregard for the citizens' demands. Yes, and we also see that one of the people who made a comeback was Murkomen, and I think that is something that
the youth
has
rejected
a lot of people.
Murkomen. But he has made a comeback.
Which we can see that he has apologized for. We are just waiting to see if he'll survive the vetting.
Remember when Murkomen was interviewed by Obina, he said that he had bought the watch using his own money. So we're going to wait and see what's going to happen during the vetting process that has commenced. And also, before President William Ruto addressed the nation yesterday, Raila Odinga had spoken, and he said, and I just want to quote what he said, Ruto goes, then what? Ruto may go, then Rigathi Gachagua takes over, still implementing bad policies. Ruto can also say, I am tired, let the generals or military take over. Ruto must go. There cannot be an end. And he continues saying, it is at times of crisis like this that a country needs to talk. We are not doing it to save Ruto, we are doing it to save Kenya. And I think this his entire address showed that Raila Odinga was joining the government of William Ruto.
Yes, and I think still on that topic, we can see on page 2 of the Standard newspaper, petitioners seek a referendum to oust Ruto Gachagua from power. The 14 petitioners tell High Court that the duo have failed to serve Kenyans. They claim the presidency has violated the constitution over 31 times. We can see that 14 petitioners have moved to court seeking orders to pave the way for a referendum to oust President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua over alleged violation of the constitution, incompetence and lack of public trust. Let me just quote one of the petitioners. In a constitutional democracy, there can be no justification for the president to deploy the KDF to prevent an armed citizen from protesting. Yes, so I think that is also one of the reasons why they are saying there has been a failure to this regime.
And continue interacting with us using the social media handles. You can interact with us on Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya. Our SMS number is 0703339959. Also, don't forget to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. Remember the question that is that you're asking this morning: do you think the president made the right decision? Do you think the president made the right decision? Speak to us.
Yes, so still we are still on the news.
The newspaper review.
Yes, so we can see that on page 7 of the Standard newspaper. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Yesterday's appointment saw ODM, Orange Democratic Movement Party, reap big. Ruto says the new cabinet will steward the government's transformation agenda.
Yes, and also another story that is making headlines, it's still on the president nominating cabinet secretaries. Yesterday, by baptism by fire. What awaits Badi at the National Treasury, and it will be a rough landing for National Treasury and Economic Planning Cabinet Secretary nominee John Badi if he is approved by Parliament. Mr. Badi, a nominated MP and current chairman of the National Assembly of the National Assembly Public Accounts Committee, PAC, if approved by Parliament, will take over from Professor Njuguna Ndungu, and also he will also be keen to come up with practical ways of managing the country's debt and increasing revenue collection. And the close allies of President of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga have been given difficult dockets, and that's why I think the reason to why the headline reads baptism by fire. Difficult assignments awaits them.
Yeah, we can also see that on page 9 of the Standard newspaper. ODM party faces uncertain future amid political realignments. Observers say the move will either usher in a new crop of leaders or spell doom for the party. Others see a Western Rift Valley alliance coming into focus. So we can see that maybe this is something that is going to bring something new to the government, and also I think also in the 2027 elections something new is also coming up.
Alignments.
And also
coalitions are going to be formed, because I think
that others will be destroyed or disarranged. And I think still on page 8 of the Standard newspaper, we can see that Azimio collision at crossroads after Raila party opts to join Ruto. So can we say that maybe this can be the beginning of the end of the Azimio Lamoja collision?
Is a collision, because I think last week they had series of meetings, but they failed to agree, and that is why they've gone their separate ways. And also the way you've just said, in coming days you're going to see new coalitions. It's also the story that is making headlines on the Standard newspaper. Gachagua traps fail to stop Raila from getting into State House. And I just want to quote what Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said. leave the job of guarding the president to me. If anyone tries to approach State House, I have set traps on every possible path they could take. There is no way they can get through. Yeah, that is according to Rigathi Gachagua before the honeymoon ended. He was saying that the Kenya Kwanza government will not go the handshake route when former President Uhuru Kenyatta embraced Mr. Odinga in a loose coalition. Also, his handlers say he will now be aggressively quoting Mr. Kenyatta and the remaining Azimio la Umoja One Kenya principles. That is, I think, NAK Kenya, Martha Karua, Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, DAP, that is chaired by Eugene Wamalwa, and Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka, who opposed to the move by Mr. Odinga. And I just want to quote what Rigathi Gachagua said, I think 2 months ago. Even our son Uhuru Kenyatta should come out and we should unite. Is that okay? The election period is over and we should unite as one house and love one another. So we are waiting to see if new coalitions are going to come out.
Can we also say that maybe this is the time when we can hear Kalonzo's voice, him as an individual, and he's not under somebody or maybe following anyone. Yes, because in the previous regimes and also in the previous years, we've seen Kalonzo Musyoka being indecisive. The party leader for
some of the people say that most of the time he makes the wrong move. So we are going to see that if this time he has made this the wrong move by not following Raila Amolo Odinga,
and rather following the youth. How can we also say that maybe we can see something is also cooking towards the 2027 elections?
New coalitions.
Maybe this decision of his will stir up the youth to vote for him later. And maybe new coalitions, because we can see that even the NAC leader has also stood by her own. She has stood on her own ground where she said she's not for national unity. And also the forming of a broad-based government.
And remember, the dialogue was to begin or was to kick off last week, but up to now there's no dialogue that has taken place. We're still waiting to see if the dialogue is going to begin. Remember, the dialogue was to involve 150 people, 50 being the youth. But up to now, we don't know the list of the members that are going to participate on the dialogue. We're still waiting. Remember, on Sunday, President William Ruto spoke and he said, and he was actually speaking to the Gen Z, and he said, I called you for a dialogue, but you refused. So I don't know what if really the dialogue is going to kick off. And I really don't know, because I think the president has angered the youth because of the reappointment of some of the cabinet or the former cabinet secretary that had been fired by President William Ruto.
Yes, so we'll just have to wait and see. So on other stories, we can see that the journalists hold protests against police brutality, and their message was, do not shoot the messenger.
The messenger. It's also the story that is making headlines on the Daily Nation this morning. Don't shoot the messenger. Journalists protest. Media freedom under siege. Journalists yesterday took to the street to protest against police brutality and other attacks against local and international media. You can find that story on page 2 and 3. And there was protest across major towns yesterday. The journalists came out in large numbers condemning police brutality and also the excessive force of the police. And also the journalists have been denied access to parliament. This is because of the incident that took place on the 25th June, that is last month when a section of parliament was set on fire by the angry protesters. And I think that is the reason to why they've been denied the access. And also last week during the demonstration, Media Max journalist or Kameme TV journalist was shot 2 times on her thighs. And that is why they've really condemned police brutality. And remember, this particular journalist had worn a press attire that it was really for the police officer to identify that this is a journalist and not a protester. Also, last week, again, a veteran journalist was arrested and harassed. It's something that the journalists really didn't take well. And that is why local journalists and international journalists came out. And also a CNN photojournalist was attacked when a police officer threw a tear gas canister on him.
Yes, and the journalist also called on the government yesterday to respect and uphold their rights and to take immediate measures to end the harassment and intimidation of media professionals.
And I just want to quote what Secretary General of Kenya Union of Journalists, Eriko Dor, said, and I quote, "In the past few weeks, the public has witnessed numerous illegal shootings, beatings, abductions, and harassments of journalists. With the details widely available in the public domain, I call for accountability and prosecutions of rogue police officers responsible for these crimes against journalists and innocent protesters." Also, Kenya Editors Guild President Zubeida Kananu called on the Ministry of ICT to cease issuing veiled threats through the Communications Authority and other state agency curtailing media freedom. She also demanded the gazetted of all recruited members of the Media Complaints Commission, which handles cases filed against media houses and individual media practitioners. And remember, we've said there was a protest of journalists across major towns in Nakuru County, Kakamega, Nairobi, Kisumu, Meru, Embu, also in Kisii and Nyamira counties, Uasin Gishu. Also, there was a protest in Nandi and Trans Nzoia counties.
Yes, and we can also see that another thing that they were demanding is that they are demanding the end of censorship of journalists. They want unrestricted access to information. Because we've seen with the upcoming laws and also with the upcoming restriction to parliament
buildings.
Yes.
So they're not going to be, they'll not be able to give the public information. Yes, and they came out in large number and they demanded the respect on the fourth estate.
Yes. So on other stories, we can see development had hit as state reduces spending by 122 billion Kenyan shillings. Treasury has prepared new budget to cater for expected revenue shortfalls. This after Kenyans rejected the new tax measures contained in the Finance Bill 2024. Let me just read the total budget: 3.87 trillion from 3.99 trillion ordinary revenue target. We can also see that there is 3.06 trillion from earlier target of 3.34 trillion. So we can see that the number has reduced by a few zeros. And also there is fiscal deficient to increase to 761 billion. That is 42% of the GDP from the 597 billion, which is 3.3% of the GDP. This will be financed through 404.6 billion domestic borrowing and also 356.4 billion foreign lenders.
Another story that is making headlines on the front page of the Daily Nation is Kamala edges out Trump in new poll. You can find that story on page 25 of the Daily Nation. And according to Ipsos survey, Kamala Harris is leading with 56%, followed by former President Trump with 49%. So remember when Joe Biden, the current president of the United States, exit the presidential race and nominated his vice president to now take on Trump. Trump came out and said that it will be very easy for him to defeat Kamala Harris. Remember, America election is going to take place on November this year. In November.
So we can also see that on page 12 of the Standard newspaper, Governor Bees name dragged into 1.1 billion overseas education scandal. Yeah, you remember the education scandal,
the Finland scholarship scandal. Yes.
And there was in Gishu Governor Jonathan B. When he appeared before the Senate County. Now his name has been dragged into the same scandal. And let me just read. Fishy deal 1.28 million Kenyan shillings amount 3 parents were each supposed to pay for their children who did not end up traveling abroad.
Yes, and according to the case, some of the leaders who have been dragged or who have been said to be behind the Finland scandal yesterday said that they used, I think, 200,000 and another 400,000 in buying furnitures.
Yes, so it's true. So we are also waiting to still hear the end of the case. So our dear viewers, remember you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles. On Facebook, you can catch us Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube Faraja TV Media, TikTok faraja.tv.media, Instagram Faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS line, I believe, is on the screen. We are taking a short break, but we'll be back with a new segment, with another segment.
Keep it Faraja TV.
Yeah.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV,
where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts.
Your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambulis,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on
Sport Buzz.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Wow, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninayokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa zote ni kwako Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the word.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili. Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenye wewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry, alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday
from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili, only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go. This is
Gospel Link Up.
kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, the Ramtes, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Yeah, viewers, you are watching Morning Updates. Remember, you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles. On Facebook, you can catch us Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube Faraja TV Media, TikTok Faraja.tv.media, Instagram Faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS line is on the screen.
Yeah, remember to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. And today, it's on Thursday, and on Thursdays we normally discuss issues around technology, business, and agriculture. And today we're going to focus on flower business. And we want to know what is flower business. How do you start a flower business? Which location do you choose? And in our do you know segment, now do you know segment, we want to know the definition of a florist. And a florist is someone whose job involves arranging and selling cut flowers. A florist is someone whose job involves arranging and selling cut flowers. Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, what a florist is and who is a florist, because most of the time you will hear people say, I'm a florist, I'm in a florist business, and you don't know what a florist is. So a florist is a person who sells flowers.
Yes, and also before even we start going on how you can start a floral or flower business, let's just dive into the flower business in Kenya. Can we say that flower business in Kenya is something that a lot of people don't know about? Yeah, especially the importing, exporting of flowers. The flower gardens that are in Kenya, flower plantations also that are in Kenya. Can we say that this is something that a lot of people and the general public don't know about?
Yeah, and I think it's a business that has been ventured by small or not many people have ventured into flower business, and I think that is why it is not very common to the public.
Yes, so okay, let me just read this. Kenya's cut flower industry employs more than 200,000 people across its different value chains, and directly and indirectly impacts the livelihood of up to 4 million Kenyans. In 2021, floriculture earned Kenya 110 billion, sorry. That is an amount of USD 809 million United States dollars, affirming its great contribution to the country's GDP
economy.
Yeah. So you can see that the flower industry is a huge thing in Kenya. And it's a big business.
Yeah,
it is something that contributes to the economy, but a lot of people don't know, because I think even in the Kenyan culture, we have not embraced even like giving of flowers. Yeah, like we just see flowers during weddings, funerals, and maybe nowadays I see it in graduations also. Yeah, but I think those are but the few occasions where you can see flowers. We are not like
people gifting flowers or giving out flowers. Yes, I think flowers have been preserved in a special occasion, and that is why it's really not common here in Kenya. And I think that is also the reason to why flower business and issues surrounding flowers have been ventured by few people.
Yes, so I think we are ready to start in June.
Yes, so how do you start a flower business? How do you start a flower business? Because even here in Nakuru, I think I've hardly seen a shop where they sell flowers, and I think this is because it's not that common, and it's not a basic need in the public.
Yeah, it's not something that we have embraced as a culture of just buying flowers. Serving flowers. Even in hotels, I think we are more of doing the plastic flowers, the fake flowers, not fresh flowers. Yeah, but dear viewers, we are talking about fresh flowers, which are you can grow them
not
in the garden
plastic,
and then put them in. And I think it's a culture amongst the whites where they have gardens, they have flowers even outside their houses, on their lawns, and then they also embrace placing and also putting fresh flowers around office spaces, around homes. Yeah, fresh flowers where we can see that they always change and change.
So the first step before you start a flower business, you're supposed to look for a location. You're supposed to choose the right location. And according to this article that I'm going to read, the saying location is as crucial to floristry as it is to real estate. A perfect banquet in the wrong location might as well be invisible. When searching for the ideal space for your florist flower shop, prioritize visibility and accessibility. You have to look for a place that people may see flowers very easily. A storefront that catches the eye of passers-by can convert foot traffic into sales. Consider positioning near complementary businesses such as bridal boutiques, event venues, or busy retail areas. Accessibility is equally important as it ensures customers can easily enter your shop and makes for efficient delivery logistics for your services. Also, you should understand the demographics of your chosen area. Where do you live? Who lives there? Would they have a need for your services? Would they have a need for your your services? A demographic that aligns with the target market for floral products is someone likely to celebrate anniversaries, Valentine's Day and birthdays with flowers, or who might need regular floral deliveries for their businesses or offices. So location is key.
And I think it's not only when it comes to flower business. I think location is key when it comes to everything in life. Like there is location in business, like in other businesses. You just can't have certain businesses in certain places. It won't work. How you cannot also have, like you can't, okay, let me just give an example. You can't be selling water and there's a river next to yeah, and maybe you are selling water that
true.
Yeah, and the river provides fresh water, because what's the use of people buying water and they can just fetch it from the river.
So location is key, and they've spoken about demographic, and most of the time you'll find that in a white community you will not miss a floral business or a flower business, because we know that they like flowers a lot. You will find flowers in their house, and you know, flowers is not just for a special occasion. Even when they visit a sick person, they will always go with them flowers or give them flowers. During Valentine's, flowers are very common, and I think the only time that you will see flowers along the streets in Kenya is during Valentine's Day.
Yes.
That is the only time that I think people buy flowers.
Roses.
Roses.
They buy flowers.
But other days, so flowers are only kept for maybe special occasions like weddings. You will not miss flowers during weddings.
Even during graduations, that is when you can find flowers maybe along the school. Before you get to the school, you will find a lot of people who are selling flowers.
But they are not the flowers that I think we are talking about. Most of the flowers that they sell are plastic flowers. But we are talking about fresh flowers, the flowers that you will have to preserve so that they cannot wilt and all that.
So we've said location. So our next one is
getting the necessary license and permits. You found a location, but you will not set a business if you've not gone through the license and permits process. And you know that is very necessary and key in our society. And embarking on this petal-filled journey means navigating a thicket of legal requirements. To begin with, secure the necessary license and permits to operate a florist flower shop. These can vary significantly depending on your location, ranging from basic business operating license to more specific florist license.
Yes, so licenses and also getting the legal papers. And being on the right side with the authority. That is something that you have to do if you are to start any business, and specifically even a flower business. That is something that you must do, or else you'll find yourself on the wrong side of the law, and you'll find maybe using a lot of money to get yourself out of trouble, money that could have been used maybe in production, maybe in distribution, maybe in something else.
Another thing that is very key in starting a flower business is, where do you get your flowers? Where do you source your flowers? That is very key, because if you don't have a place that you get flowers, it means that you cannot start your business at all. So where do you get? So first of all, before even venturing into that business, you have to go for a search. Look for a supplier that will be supplying flowers, and also, how do you select a quality product? Remember, in a flower business, flowers are really you're supposed to have flowers that are fresh all the time, that are blooming and all that. You know, flowers are really perishable. That is why
and they are delicate.
They are really preserved. And when you're selecting flowers, you have to select a quality flowers. Quality, it's very key. And I'm going to give you tips on selecting quality products, and one of them, access freshness. So when you're picking your flowers, when you're sourcing your flowers, you have to look for flowers that are fresh all the time, because even when buyers come, they look for things that are fresh. They don't look for things that they look that they are not fresh. And when choosing flowers from a wholesale, look for signs of freshness, like vibrant colors, firm petals, and stems that are sturdy and green. Avoid flowers showing signs of wilting, browning, or dropping. Yes, so if the color is supposed to be red and it has started changing to yellow, you'll just know that this flower is not fresh. So always when you're looking for a flower, look for a flower that is fresh. And I know even your customers will want to have fresh flowers, so freshness is key.
And I think that also comes down to who is supplying your flowers, who is supplying the flowers for you. Because if you get a good supplier, and where they have maybe gardens, they have greenhouses or something, that means that you will get good flowers.
Yes.
Yeah, but if it's a bad supplier, it means you will get also bad products as well. And I think also something that we should also mention is identify the most profitable flower in the country, or maybe in the place where you are setting up a business. You cannot start a flower business next to maybe to a bridal, the way you said, location, to a bridal
related
shop.
businesses.
And then you start a flower business, maybe you are just selling sunflowers. I think you should look for the most profitable flowers, and I think it's very common. Roses are so common. They are used in weddings, in funerals, birthdays, like everywhere, events, you can find roses. Those are the types of flowers that sell a lot.
So access freshness. Another tip in selecting quality product is check for damages. Inspect flowers for any signs of mechanical damage, disease, or pest. Healthy flowers last longer, providing more value for both your shop and your customers. You know, customers doesn't want bad things. They will always look for flowers that are fresh and those flowers that are not damaged, or they don't have pest invasion. And another tip is understand season. Be aware of which flowers are in season. You know, this will really help you to save a lot, because most of the time flowers that are in season are a bit cheaper than when they are out of season. So you should look for flowers that are in season, and also flowers that are in season are more abundant. There are many. Also, they are fresh and more affordable. This knowledge helps in planning your inventory and can influence your promotional activities. So always look for flowers that are in season.
Yes, I think that will also help you cut costs.
And another tip is sample orders. Before committing to large orders, request samples to access the quality firsthand. This approach helps avoid investing in bulk quantities of inferior qualities. So you should have samples. You should not just settle on one
word of mouth
seller
or maybe picture. I think also this is something that happens with online buying. When you are going online shopping and maybe you've seen a picture of something and then you request for it, and then the picture and the product that you are getting, they are two different things.
So you should look for multiple sellers before you settle to
one specific seller, and also samples. Go and see for yourself.
Another tip is communication, and here communication is very key. Maintain open lines of communication. Inform wholesalers of your needs and expectation clearly, and provide feedback on the products you receive. So I think what they're trying to say is be vocal and transparent. Don't hide, you know. Say it very clearly that, you know, this is what I want, this is what I expect from you, this is what I don't want, so that the wholesaler will just know whatever you want and whatever you expect from them.
Yes, I also think that something that you should also be on the lookout for is the demand, the market access and demand of flowers, because there are certain flowers which cannot they are not maybe in demand in the place where you've started your business, but some are in demand. So you should also have flowers that a lot of people are demanding.
Yes.
Yeah, just check the market.
Yeah. And that is why we spoke about location. And when you want to start a business, a flower business, location is very key. And also you have to research who are your customers, what do they expect, what do they want. And I think that is why even before you set a business or a flower business, you're supposed to go rounds and ask people,
the market,
look for the loopholes, because you're coming to fill those loopholes. Maybe you've walked around and you've discovered that there is no a flower business in this location, and really people are in need of a flower shop or something like that. And because of this, they've been traveling for long distance to look for flowers, and that is why our flower business cannot be located just anywhere.
Yes, I think that's also true.
Yes, and another way, remember we talked about where do you source your flowers, where do you get your flowers, and another way to find, we are going to show you how to find and partner with local farms. First of all, you have to visit local markets. Farmers markets are fantastic for connecting with local growers. These venues allow you to see the quality of the flowers and start conversations with the growers directly. And I think this is very good. You have to go to the ground, you know, look for these flowers. Visit the flower market, the flower farms, so that you can have quality flowers, because most of the time people who are in these businesses, they just depend on the flowers that these flower farms have displayed in their online platforms. So I think the best way is just go to the flower farm so that you can see the different types of flowers.
Yes, and also estimate the local supply of cut flowers in the place where you are. So I think also looking for good suppliers and also checking if you have other options.
It really
because
helps.
sometimes your supplier may fail, or maybe something might come up, because you know life happens. So you need to have a backup supplier.
Yes, and again, it's very good when you communicate with somebody face to face, rather than maybe through the phone or online. Another way to find and partner with a local farmer is network with other florists. Join local or national florist association to network with peers who might have established connections with growers in your area. And I think this really helps a lot.
Yes. So our dear viewers, remember you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles. We are taking a short break, but
Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV,
where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts.
Your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course Mickey Omchambuliv,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on
Sport Buzz.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Cute Guy.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa, sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunawaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the world.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili. Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenyewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry, alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday
from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili, only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go. This is
Gospel Link Up.
kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, the Ramtes, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV,
where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959. na various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts.
Your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And of course, Mickey Omchambulis.
And Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on
Sport Buzz.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Hello, our dear viewers. Welcome back to Morning Updates. Remember, we were talking about how to start a flower business.
Yeah.
Yes, we are taking you to a business class, and we've been speaking about it, what you're supposed to do, the do's and the don'ts when it comes to starting a business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and remember you can interact with us. Our social media handles are Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, Faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_media. Our SMS number is 0703339959. Also remember to tell us your name and where you're watching us from.
Yes. So remember we were talking about how you can start a flower business, and we said things like location is important, legal papers, being on the right side of the law, so ensuring maybe your business is registered, ensuring that maybe you have the necessary papers that are supposed to be there. There is something also called branding your business.
Yes.
You need to brand your business,
market your business.
Yes, and also maybe the location. When it comes to location, there are also things like maybe advertising, things like making sure your business is not only physically present, but also it has an online presence.
Yes.
So maybe you have it online so that you can reach a larger market. We also talked about suppliers. Estimating and also looking for local suppliers to supply for you flowers, and also you should look for the most affordable or maybe available flowers.
And the quality is also key.
And I also remember Vicky told us that we should also look for flowers that are in market in season.
Not out of season.
Yes, and also I think when it comes to starting even any business, you're supposed to be aware, educated and informed broadly about your product. So when it comes to flowers, you're supposed to know a lot when it comes to flowers. It's like you know a lot of things.
Research.
You know which types of flowers
are in season.
Which are off, which ones are best maybe used at certain events. That's when even you can even educate your consumers, your customers. Things like maybe when it comes to wedding, you might tell them, maybe you should try the lilies, maybe you should try the roses, maybe you should try different types of flowers. And also you should know how to blend. So it all comes down to also the product information, about the product that you have, that you're selling.
Yes.
Yes.
And we talked about the freshness of flowers, and we urge those people who want to start a flower business that always they should look for flowers that are fresh. Because these flowers are really perishable. And one thing or one way to keep your flowers fresh is looking for coolers solution, and one is called floral coolers, and unlike regular refrigeration, floral coolers maintain a consistent temperatures and humidity level optimal for flower storage. They come in various sizes, from under-counter units for smaller shops to large walk-ins for extensive operation. Another type of a cooler is called display coolers. These are designed to not only keep your flowers fresh but also attractively display them to customers with glass doors and internal lighting. Display coolers invite customers to visually enjoy your flowers' beauty while preserving their quality. Another type of a cooler is called portable cooling unit. This one is for florists on the go, especially those focusing on events. Portable cooling units can be a game changer. They allow for the transportation of arrangements in optimal condition, ensuring they look their best upon arrival.
Yes, and I also think that when it comes to refrigerating flowers, it also increases their shelf life. And also remember that flowers are very delicate.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to transporting them, exporting them, it means that they have to get there on time, or else they will spoil. Yeah, because sometimes maybe transporting them, you cannot maybe transport in coolers. So you have to ensure that they also get there on time.
Yes, and I think this is why we have portable cooling units. You can travel with your flowers anywhere you go because of the cooling units that you have.
Yes, so our dear viewers, we've decided we're taking you on a business class today, where we are telling you how to start a business.
Yes.
And I think that this is not even only when it applies to flowers. Even if you want to start a business on something else, you should take the same tips and then put your product's name there. If it's if maybe it's food, you should maybe use the same strategies, but it's on food.
It's just the same.
Yeah, I also think that something that we've not mentioned is when it comes to starting any business, you should always sit down and count the cost.
Yeah,
this is something that before you even start, before you even do everything.
Do you have enough money to start the business? And even before, and I think you research comes in first. And then
before
after that,
the actions.
Yes, and then after that, now you have to know the cost of starting your business.
Yeah, you need to know. I will need an estimate of maybe this amount of money.
Yeah,
and this will cater for maybe the rent for the place, for the location. This will also cater for production, or maybe transportation, or maybe going for the suppliers, buying the products.
Yeah, shop layout. Shop layout. How do you design your shop? Because also design is very key, because if you have a good design, it will really attract customers. Especially design is very key, because I think it works hand in hand with flowers.
So I think even things like when you count the cost, that's when you'll decide, am I going to get employees, or maybe am I going to start alone, and then maybe later when the business picks up, I can get employees. When you count the cost, you'll realize this is the amount of money I have, but this is the amount of money I need. Do I need to get in investors, or maybe should I go for other options,
like getting a loan from a bank and all that?
Yes. So I think when it comes to starting any business, you should start by counting the cost.
Counting the cost.
And I think when we say count the cost, I also remember what the Bible says, and I will quote. I think it was Jesus who said that there is nobody who wants to build a house who does not sit down and count the cost. So it's like you have to count
that
the cost.
Is very key. Well said, Emma. So you have to count the cost, and then after that you go and research. You go to the ground, you look for where they farm these flowers, and you go and you have to establish a good relationship between the farmer and also you as a buyer of the flowers.
Yes. So even as we are talking about that, I want us to also talk about some of the challenges that flower businesses undergo, especially in countries like Kenya, in countries like Africa. I know that there are some challenges, there are some difficulties when it comes to starting a business and also even progressing with the business. Yes. And as we can see that flowers are not common.
Yes, I think that is one of the challenge.
Yeah. This is not something that the society, the culture has embraced. I mean, you bringing somebody flowers, they'll be like, sungeleta mboga.
Or something that I would eat, you know, something that I can eat. So it's not that common, and it's not something that is very important in our nation, and that is why we have few people who ventured in flower business. But the way we just explained, it's really not that difficult to start a business. It's just the mentality that we have that many people don't want flowers, or flowers are not necessary in our societies.
Yes, and I think we shouldn't be afraid to start small.
Yeah.
Because this is something that all of us, we have a vision of maybe making it grow and become big. But there is always a step. You know, they always say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So take that one step. Start small. Don't be afraid to start small. If you count the cost and you realize this is the only amount of money I have and I can only afford maybe a few. Because even remember stories like the KFC owner.
Yeah.
He started by going round selling his recipe.
Yes.
And I read somewhere that he did it he tried 1,007 times, knocking on people's doors, knocking on hotels,
and
trying to sell his recipes, and they all turned him down until the 1,008 person who accepted his recipe.
And currently we have KFC globally.
This is something that is everywhere. When
Yes.
you go to
So you start
Nigeria,
small, start small. Don't give up. And also I think you should know if really your customers want flowers. You know, you cannot just go and set a flower shop anywhere. First of all, you have to know who are your target customers. Do they really need flowers? Do they want flowers? So you have to know before you set a flower business.
And I think also there's another challenge of maybe limited capital. This is something that all businesses, when you're starting a business, this is something that you'll struggle with. You notice you have limited capital. And that is why we said you should count the cost, so that if you realize you are short of money, you can maybe get in investors
or a bank loan.
Yes, so there is that challenge of limited capital. And I think when it comes to money, you can never have enough of it. There's nobody who in the world can say they have enough money.
That is why you can start it anywhere. You just have to start small, because if you wait until you have enough money, you will never start a business.
Will never have enough money.
You have, and you will realize that most successful business people that we have in the world and even in Kenya are risk takers. So take a risk and start a flower business.
Yes, and I think another challenge may also come with maybe the lawmakers. When it comes to the legal papers, getting on the good side of the law, getting the legal papers. Sometimes they take time. Sometimes there's a lot of corruption.
And we don't want to go through that. And most of the time, when you look at the legal process, you just decide that, you know, it's better if I put my mind on something else, because, you know, this process will really take a lot of time.
Yes, and also remember there is that thing that Vicky, you said when it comes to flowers, there are some flowers which come in season
and out of season,
and also out of season. So that might also be a challenge, because if they're out of season, you might find it super expensive to acquire them. Which makes even if you acquire your product at an expensive price, it means when you are selling it to your customers, it will be more expensive to them. And this thing may also make your customers a bit shy. when it comes to embracing your product.
Yeah, and another thing, when you've now established, you've set your business, how do you maintain your customers? I think this is a challenge. This is a challenge that business people have because of their communication skills. How do you communicate with your customers? And I think interpersonal skills is very important. Empower your team to build rapport with customers, making the experience personal and memorable. So don't just start a business. You should have a relationship also with your customers so that you can maintain your business and your business may not fall. Because most of the time you start your business, you don't have good communication skills with your customers, and then your business falls. So how do you communicate with your customers? And you know, in a business world, there is a communication style that business use so that they can maintain a customer.
Yeah, and I think that is what we call customer service skills, people handling skills, marketing skills, because all these, they involve people.
Yes.
If you don't know how to market your product, even like when you go outside with the towel, even those mutumba stores,
hawkers.
There are people who are shouting and they draw you towards their shop. And there are people who are just silent, and maybe you are still drawn to their shops because of something
that you've seen.
Draws.
But when you go there, the way they approach you, the way they communicate, you even lose interest in their products just because the way they've approached you. So communication is key. You know, convincing. How do you convince people to buy?
You know how to handle people. How you should convince. If you need to lower maybe the cost a bit, you can do it so that you can keep customers. You know, there are some customers who are long lasting. If you get the customer and you give them maybe the flowers and the products at a good price, you will always get them.
Yes.
And like maybe getting one customer who will buy maybe one big time thing at an expensive price, but you will never get them again.
Yes. And another thing, another thing to maintain your customers is upping your game. You know, there's competition. So for you to stand out in a flower business, how do you package? You know, when this customer comes, you can even offer to wrap them the flower for free. You don't charge the wrapping, so it becomes free. And also maybe if they are gifting somebody, you can also provide notes where they can write on the notes. So you can be creative. You know, it's all about being creative.
I think it's all true, and I think creativity has no limit. So whatever you will come up with and whatever you will create, all we can say is don't be afraid to start small. Everybody started from somewhere. Even a great king was once a child. So remember that you shouldn't give up even on your dreams. I feel like we are even encouraging people who wanted to start a business and maybe they were not able to do it. So please, you can continue pushing.
Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Yes. And with that said, we've come to an end of our show. Remember, you can catch us every day from Monday to Friday, starting from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Have a good day.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV,
where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959. And our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts.
Your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And of course, Mickey Omchambulis.
And Lefty Jizitisa mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Cute Guy.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa, sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunawaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the world.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili. Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenye wewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry, alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday
from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili, only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go. This is
Gospel Link Up.
kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, the Ramtes, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV.
Where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959. And our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts.
Your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And of course, Mickey Omchambulis.
And Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Wow. What is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninayokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunawaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the word.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili. Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na